My name is Mike Garlia.
And I'm Steve Jones.
When Steps, the Backstreet Boys, and Westlife dominated the pop charts, we decided to write a script.
Based on our experiences as holiday entertainers.
It's sat in an attic for the last 16 years. How terrible is the writing? How awful will the acting be?
Only you can help us decide.
This is Bad Scripts.
It's time for another episode of Bad Scripts. And joining me, Mr. Mike Garlia. Good evening, Mike.
Hi Steve, how you getting on?
I've been good. I've been great. It's always a pleasure to hear you. We're really kicking on now with Last Resort. We probably only got a couple of episodes left from this script. So I think it's important that we just do a little recap before we dive on into the episode.
Almost like a last week on Bad Scripts.
Exactly.
Well,
In fact,
yeah.
Why don't you do that right now? Give us your last week on Bad Scripts.
I can't say last week on Last Resort. That doesn't sound quite right, does it? Previously on Last Resort. Yeah, I think that's the one, isn't it? Previously on Last Resort. What do we have here? So we had the fallout of Adam and Kelly. We don't quite know Kelly's intentions just yet, but we do know that she was dealt a terrible blow with Adam. Plus, even going back a little bit further, if some of the listeners are connected to that, Kelly spun some tales as well and said that it was twice last night and once this morning, which adds an extra dimension of to Adam's intentions there. Yeah, I think it... So if you remember at the end of episode 10, Kelly says to Robin and to Donna and reveals her shenanigans with Adam. And even just a few hours later, they have that raging argument. So that's one thing that happened. The other elements that was happening was Bob was doing his sneaky bush hunting with the Slovakians who are having a barbecue in the main square. He's eating strange meat. We don't know what that is yet, and I'm hoping there's going to be an answer to that one. I'm very excited to learn that one. And he wasn't manning the security desk, and he's drinking pure vodka. Alan has appeared, and he's talking to Mark about the camp being in trouble. Wayne doesn't know anything at this moment in time, nor does anyone else. But Alan dropped the bombshell that Kevin, his partner in crime and the instigator of the refreshed camp holidays, has done a runner with one of the dancers who he has got pregnant and now is in Dubai. And the bombshell at the very end was that the camp holidays was in dire trouble with overheads being so high, despite the fact that they're fully booked. So that, I think, unless I'm missing anything, brings us fully up to speed in this week's episode.
I think that was pretty thorough, Mike. Well done. I guess all that leaves us to do is to head straight on into the dialogue and hear what happens next in The Last Resort. Exterior lawn. The barbecue is in full swing. The family are all stood around in a circle clapping. Dan is almost keeled over in laughter. Vladimir's mum is in the centre, playing the fiddle. Dancing in the centre of the circle is now a drunk Bob. His shirt is scuffed out, and he's wearing the chef's hat on his head. The old lady playing the fiddle is wearing Bob's security hat. Bob is trying to Cossack dance. He is extremely bad at it, but is enjoying himself. He then tries to tap dance, falling on the grass. Down there, he tries to break dance. Donna enters and walks over to Dan. He spots her and meets Donna halfway. Hey, babe. Mwah. Come and have a look at this. Donna stops him. Wait, I need your help. Why? Is something wrong? Yeah. Dan looks worried. Look, I know I might not be the best. Interrupting him. Oh no, not between us. Yeah, of course. It's Sam. Dan looks confused. She's really upset. I thought you could talk to her. Why? I mean, what can I say to her? Explain things about Adam. I'm not with you. Well, she likes him. He likes her. He slept with Kelly. Sam is really upset. Adam slept with Kelly last night. Ah, but Adam was hammered last night. Exactly. He wasn't being himself. You can explain it to Sam. Tell her how he feels. Why should we get involved? Because they're our friends. Now, go and find her. Donna pushes Dan away and makes her way to the party. Dan follows her. How's about a kiss before I go? Donna smiles. If you sort this out, you'll get more than a kiss. Dan breathes heavily and sprints away.
Okay, so what has it got to do with Donna? I mean, so Donna's interfering, wrapping Dan in it, is protecting Adam for Sam.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate, do you think?
I think she sees there's genuine affection between them, and what she doesn't want is for a moment of weakness to possibly get in the way of something beautiful. That's how I see it. Some people
That's how
might
you see
say
it.
she's an interfering busybody, but I think that's where she's coming from. I'm not sure that Adam's deserving of it, or Kelly, or that even Sam deserves that. But I think that that's where Donna's idea comes from.
That she's setting Dan the man on Sam to protect Adam and fix the problem from the night before and try and defend Adam's actions. My other question I've got really is, what is that flipping madman Bob doing? Cossack dancing, tap dancing, and break dancing in the same paragraph is something I never thought I'd ever see or hear.
There's been far more breakdancing in this script than there has been in the last 30 years in any script anywhere, and that includes breakdancing movies. Interior Mark's office. Alan is slumped over the desk talking. The whiskey bottle is almost empty. Mark is sat opposite, looking drunk and half asleep.
And she doesn't appreciate me. I take her. I take her wherever she wants to go. Buy her expensive clothes and jewelry. I even took her to Morecambe 3 times this year alone.
Mark nods drunkenly.
And then there's my wife, bitch. Don't even get me started on her. What?
I think the assumption is there that that's his mistress that he's taking away, and then don't get me started on my wife. She's even worse.
I need a moment to process this. This is a bit of a curveball.
It's a strange scene. It's just a very short scene, but it's kind of like interspersed with the stuff going on at the party.
Yeah, so I mean, reading it and not being able to digest it, and then realizing what's going on. So she doesn't appreciate me. I take her wherever she wants to go, buy her expensive clothes and jewelry, and he took her to Morecambe 3 times this year alone. And then he's and the wife. So does that make Alan a bit of a hypocrite in the previous scenes where he's talking about Kevin running off to Dubai?
Well, I don't think he's a hypocrite because he's not run away from it. He's very forthright about what he's doing. The problem he has with Kevin is that Kevin's buggered off. He's not bothered that Kevin's done what he's done. Maybe he's a bit annoyed that he's got her pregnant, but he's more annoyed that he's left him to face the music with the board. That's how I see it anyway.
I just think it's a really epic day so far. A huge amount is happening, and things seem to be falling apart at this moment in time. So you wake up that morning, and you just don't know what's ahead of you, which could be an indication of real life, I suppose. But
we've all had those days, haven't we, where they start innocuously and then it turns into the most crazy day you've ever experienced. So I think everybody listening can probably attest to that happening to them at least once or twice in their lifetime. Interior Sam's chalet. Sam is sat on her bed watching TV and eating ice cream. There's a knock at the door. She jumps at the sound, stands up, and walks to the door. Who is it? From behind the door, Dan answers back. It's me, Dan. Sam opens the door. What's up? Nothing. I mean, I thought I'd come and say hello. Come in. Dan walks into the chalet and sits on the bed. Sam joins him. They begin to kiss passionately. Oh no, wait a minute. She's having a lot of men. Just walk in and sit on your bed. I mean, what's that about?
It's normal.
Yeah.
Completely normal.
So, how are you? I'm okay. Good. That's good. You didn't just come around to say hello, did you? No. We were just worried about you, me and Donna. Well, I'm fine. It's not like we were together or anything. Dan looks up. What? Sam realizes what she's just said. Oh, nothing. They both sit in silence for a few seconds. You want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. Adam's with Kelly now. What? I saw them earlier. They were all over each other. Adam barely even noticed me, and I thought we were supposed to be friends. They're not together. They just shagged, that was all. Nice. Thanks for the reminder. Last night was mad. I can imagine. We were really pissed. Even before the club. Kelly arrived and started buying cocktails for Adam. By the time he left, he couldn't even see. I'm surprised he managed to, get it up. What's your point, Dan? He thinks a lot of you. He's been single the entire season because of you. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't he tell me? I don't know. He still went with Kelly. Technically, he hasn't done nothing wrong. And let me tell you, sweetheart, Kelly ain't as innocent as people think. Don't think anybody thinks that.
What do you mean, technically, he hasn't done anything wrong? What does that mean, technically?
Well, no, I think they're saying that he hasn't done anything wrong. If you look at it, he wasn't committed to anybody, he hadn't made any false promises. But the point about me is that Kelly ain't as innocent as people think. Who thinks Kelly's innocent? I don't know anybody who thinks Kelly's innocent. She's kind of got a reputation right through the script of not being anything but innocent. So it's a bit of a weird line there. Never mind. What are you saying? Look, she's poison. I know because she did the same to me. What? Beginning of the season, she used me, chewed me up and spat me out. But when she saw us with Donna, she tried it on again. She can't stand seeing anyone else happy. She tried it on with Adam once before and he turned her down. Really? Last night she planned it. It was well obvious. Well, why would she do that? Duh, because he likes you and you like him. So why not go talk to him? Not yet. I'm not ready. Fair enough. As long as you know he'd never do anything to hurt you. Sam stares into space.
With a telescope.
Yeah. Look it up. And then randomly, Dan just changed the subject. What are you up to tonight? Not a lot. Then you come into the pub. No arguments. Sam smiles.
Is she still staring into space at that time? When she's smiling.
I'm hoping that she wasn't just looking at the corner of the ceiling like some sort of crazy person. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time I think Dan and Sam have ever spoke on screen. I don't think they've had two words for each other since. They've kind of been around, but they've never really had a conversation. So this was like, whoa, okay. And Dan
Do
started
you know
to.
what the scene reminded me of? The scene reminded me of like that Channel 4 show with teenagers. So melodramatic.
I think we can say Hollyoaks without fear of retribution.
Do you think if Sam had overheard the way Adam was speaking to Kelly, though, do you think that would change her mind a little bit?
I think it would put her off completely because she's thinking, "Wow, I don't want to be on the end of that temper." I know that's how I'd feel. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about yourself, but it felt like a very toxic attitude, and I don't think it was. I can't remember writing this. So much of it, I can't remember. So I don't remember what our motivation was to his anger. His real anger at Kelly.
I think it's two guys that wrote this and tried to turn a fun-loving woman into the villain. That's what it sounds like.
To me, I think we just tried to make him flawed because he'd come across as was chivalrous, and I think we've tried to prove that not everything is always as it seems, and people are layered
Like an onion. Is
like
that
an
what you
onion,
mean? People are layered like an onion.
layered like an or a stack of pancakes. I mean, either way.
Going forward then, where is you're incredibly hungover, you are really, really remorseful, you probably aren't feeling your best, you've just had a massive argument, you've been in trouble with the management team for being late again. Where is the one place you would go to find solace and to start working on redemption, Steve? Where would you go?
I think you'd be going and crawling on your hands and knees to the woman that you really care about to tell her how you feel and to try and explain what had happened and how sorry you were. That would be my first course of action. What about you?
I think I'd want to be on my own. I think I'd want to go back to my chalet and close the door and just have a bit of a time out. You know, just get away from people for a little while. It's clearly causing more damage than good. So I'm interested to see in the next scene where Adam actually goes.
Interior bar. Adam and Robin are sat at a table having a drink. Adam is pouring his heart and problems to Robin. I'm not quite sure how that reads there. He's pouring his heart and problems to. I'm sure he's pouring his heart out and telling his problems to Anne Robin.
Well, no, he's clearly obsessed. I think there's an intervention needed for Adam, to be honest with you, and that's my point exactly. You would be on your hands and knees begging forgiveness. I want to go back to my chalet. Adam's in another bar after getting into all that trouble.
You know what would solve my drink-related issues? Some more drink.
I can't believe I've messed things up so bad.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I'm just really good at it. If I could turn back time, last night would never happen.
Well, love, last night can't be changed, so don't regret it.
But I do.
And how do you feel about Kelly?
I don't feel anything. It could have been anyone last night.
Oh.
Yep.
And you didn't tell me, wink wink. How do you feel about Sam? Do you like her?
That's the trouble. I think I'm in love with her.
Wow, okay. That certainly changes things. How long have you felt this way? Adam takes a big drink, almost finishing his pint.
Because that's so important to the story.
But his alcoholic tendencies may be prevalent and very important.
I don't know. It just sort of crept up, and before I knew it...
So why didn't you do anything about it?
You know, it never felt like the right time. She split up with a boyfriend and was pretty cut.
We're just missing words out on this page. She was pretty cut.
She was pretty cut, you know. She's a pretty cut bro. Besides, I didn't know how she felt about me. I thought she only saw me as a mate.
Let me tell you, darling, there is no such thing as a perfect woman. Perfect bloke, and most of all, perfect relationship. You just got to seize the moment, live for today, and fuck tomorrow.
Robin, what the hell are you talking about? What is that?
This is his mantra. This is his. He's telling you to just go out and seize the day. Stop worrying about who likes who and what. Just go and do what you think is right.
If life weren't like that, we'd all be happy.
Look, it's only complicated because you're making it that way. You should stop worrying and stressing over crap and just follow your heart. It's rarely wrong.
Since when did you become all agony aunt?
I've had a lot of relationships. You just learn stuff. Adam looks up as Sam enters with Dan. She spots him, and they look at each other. Adam eventually looks down in shame. When he looks back up, Sam is walking towards a table at the other end of the bar. Dan is now at the bar ordering a drink. Adam finishes his pint. Robin looks over. Ah, the plot thickens then.
You want another drink, mate?
I'll get them. My round.
It doesn't matter.
Before Robin can argue, Adam is up and walking to the bar. He speaks to Dan. You alright, mate?
Could be better.
Dan orders his drink. You should talk to her.
I don't know, mate.
Just go over and say hello. You're still friends, right?
I hope so.
Go on then. Dan pushes Adam into the direction of Sam's table.
Hey.
Sam looks up and weakly smiles. Hey.
Can I sit?
Of course you can. Adam sits down.
I just want to say,
How's the boy band going? Adam looks a little unnerved.
Yeah, fine. They've got us on every day now, and Judy said that if we're all back next year, we might get a show in the main venue.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, no record deals yet, though.
Sam giggles. Can you believe Christmas is only a few months away?
I know. It's like, where's the summer gone?
Robin appears at the table. Hi, Robin. You want to join us? No, I'm going to shoot off. I'm really tired. Do you mind?
No, you go if you want.
Actually, I'm quite tired too, and I'm at work early on tomorrow. I'll walk you if you like. Okay. Sam gets up and goes to leave.
I'll see you later then.
Maybe. Sam and Robin leave just as Dan comes over with 2 drinks. Where the fuck's she gone?
Left with Robin.
Ah, no worries there, mate. Might as well have her drink.
She hates me. It's so obvious.
Adam stares into the drink.
I'm going to go, mate.
Adam gets up to leave. Oh, hold on. I'll come with you. Dan downs his drink. Are you having that drink? Adam shakes his head. Dan picks it up and downs it. Waste not, eh? Adam and Dan come out of the pub. They hear a lot of shouting and screaming. 3 lads have set upon Robin, who is curled in a ball on the floor. Sam is screaming at them to leave him alone.
Fucking puff. Yeah, smack his head in. Arse bandit, shit stabbing gay fucker.
They both immediately run to the group. Dan, reaching one lad first, he pulls him off Robin and thumps him in the mouth, knocking the lad away. Adam reaches another thug and pushes him away from Robin. Meanwhile, Sam shouts at the remaining thug to leave him alone. She grabs his shirt to pull him off Robin, and the lad turns on her.
Get the fuck off me!
He pushes Sam violently into the wall, and she falls to the ground. Adam turns just in time to see this, and we see the fury build up in his face. He begins running to the lad.
Get off her, you fucking bastard!
We turned into like a proper Ken Loach film now, suddenly.
It really is.
Just one
really
scene,
is
it's like,
kitchen sink.
wow! The lad turns to face Adam, just as he lands a punch, breaking his nose, causing blood to explode everywhere. Adam is so angry as he continues to punch the lad. Dan and Robin see if the other 2 thugs who run away. You alright? Yeah. Oh, thanks. In the background, Sam screams. Stop it! You're going to kill him! Dan and Robin turn to see this. They run to Adam. Adam is still punching the lad, who is now on the floor. He is holding the thug's shirt while punching him in the face. Robin and Dan grab Adam from behind, dragging him away from the bloodied thug. Adam tried to get back to him, but is stopped by Dan. Go on, fuck off. The thug gets up, wipes the blood and stumbles away. Adam is still struggling. Adam, calm down, mate. Calm down. Adam calms a little and looks at a terrified Sam. She starts to cry and shakes her head.
Sam!
Sam walks away with Robin. Adam tries to go to her, but is stopped by Dan. Leave it, mate. Adam doesn't listen and again tries to follow. Dan grabs Adam forcefully. Just leave it. Adam nods and they walk in the opposite direction. Whoa. Holy moly, we thought we got dark before. Shit just got serious, man.
I need a moment to process. And the secondary moment is for me to loudly declare with pride in my heart that I told you so. About Adam, I told you. I said there was something there. I said there was. So look, Adam. When you factor in the last episode, he has a real anger problem. This guy, that nice guy persona is keeping something down. It's it, and it's just the catalyst to explode that out, which is exactly what's happened. Now, I can see where he's coming from. He wants to protect Sam, but he can't control his anger.
And I think this all goes back to what Kelly had said about him not getting laid all season. All this pent up sexual tension has been released, and now the beast is out, and the anger has come forward. I mean, he's reacted.
Have you just compared Adam? Literally, have you just compared Adam to the Incredible Hulk?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe there was a Lou Ferrigno type moment in there where he went, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." Maybe his trousers got ripped. I don't know. It's all up for debate.
So let me ask you this: when we started this scene, and I said you've got yourself into loads of trouble, where would you really want to go? You're on hands and knees to get the forgiveness of the one you love. I said I'd rather go back to the chalet. Adam's gone to a pub and beaten the bejesus out of someone.
Now we have to assume that this bar is off campus. I'm assuming off site, not on the camp, because there is no way you're going to be fighting on camp with people, thugs, whoever they are. I'm assuming they've gone into town to have this drink. It must have been.
I'm assuming they have, and I'm trying to play through how long Robin. So it must have happened as soon as obviously Robin and Sam have left. There's obviously three guys stood outside the bar that's seen Robin and taken a disliking just randomly to him, who are seemingly incredibly homophobic.
Yeah, and I think it's a harrowing scene when you consider a lot of the stuff in our script's been comedic. I just think this is one of those juxtapositions with the reality of the situation for a lot of gay performers over the years is that victimization, that attack, for just because of their sexuality, just because of the way they are, inherently who that person is, you would attack somebody for that. And, it's abhorrent. I think as young as we were and as different as the times were then, I guess I think we were just trying to show that struggle that Robin and all the Robins out there probably had, and that working in this environment had created a bond that, if you think back to how Dan was with Robin when things first started and he was calling him names and stuff, now he's getting into fights for him. He really genuinely cares about him. And I think we've seen a real blossoming of Dan, and he's opened himself up to a broader way of thinking. I'm feeling very philosophical and deep now in this conversation, but I think it needs it.
And I do, and I wouldn't dream of going down the comedy route, because believe you me, the lines I spoke there from the thugs is not something I actually found that quite difficult to say out loud.
Yeah,
and I'll find it difficult to listen to as well, just because I don't share those views personally at all in any way, shape, or form. But going back to the story, right? Just an observation that Dan and Sam reacted relatively quickly to the thugs on Robin, yet it took a thug turning on Sam to get Adam involved. He's like a bystander almost. As soon as someone turned on Sam, and this happens really quickly, I know that, and Adam's probably having a look around, just trying to see what's going on. But it was that, and I just wonder if the thug hadn't turned on Sam, would Adam have just let Dan to it and think, I won't get involved in this? He was more of a bystander. What do you think?
I don't know as it was necessarily that. I think purely for the visuals, because remember we're writing this this was written as a script for the visuals. You were seeing what was happening with Dan and with Sam, and they were like, and Adam's just assessing the situation, seeing what's going on. He sees Sam get grabbed, and then he goes straight in for it. I don't think there's a long time between it, but sometimes people do freeze in these situations, and it takes something like how much he cares about Sam to go boom.
Adam sucker punched him. Yeah, Adam literally, the guy turns and faces Adam as Adam lands a punch, breaking his nose. So, yeah, I mean, look, I've been very vocal the last episodes about Adam and how I feel about Adam. And I just feel retribution is coming in terms of Adam's true colours. But, Steve, I will say this. When we talk about having a rounded character and having someone who's real, Adam's probably becoming a bit more real. Not in the way that we wanted him to become real, but he's probably becoming a bit more rounded, as are the other characters with those onions and hidden layers that we've discussed already.
So let's see if we can lighten the mood a little bit now and move on to our next scene. Interior Mark's office. Alan and Mark are now fast asleep where they were sitting. The bottle of whiskey is now empty and lying on its side on the desk. The door opens and Wayne pops his head around. He looks at the whiskey and then at the two sleeping men, sighs in disgust and leaves. Neither of the two even stir. Interior reception. Judy is just about to leave for the night. She puts her keys in the cupboard and puts on her coat. Wayne enters. Are you off then?
Been a hard day.
It's about to get harder. Stop it. It's like a carry-on film in here.
Oh, why?
I overheard Alan and Mark talking.
You mean you were eavesdropping?
No, looking out for our interests, actually.
You mean your own?
Whatever.
Well, come on then. Spill the beans.
Wayne lights a cigarette.
What are you doing? Alan's only in there. If he catches you smoking up here...
It doesn't matter now.
Why? What do you mean?
Wayne takes a drag and flicks his ash on the floor. I mean, there's not going to be a next season. We're finished.
How can you be so sure?
Came from the horse's mouth. If I were you, I'd jump ship before it goes down.
Yeah, well, you're not me.
Oh, and by the way, I found out why your little dancer ran off in such a hurry.
I know. She's pregnant.
Yeah, but guess to who?
Who's the father?
None other than our boss, Kevin. Judy takes this information, and after a few seconds, she begins laughing.
Come on, seriously.
Seriously, they've only gone to Dubai together.
But he's married.
Not anymore. The only mystery is, how can a guy like that pull a little cracker like that?
God knows.
Means there's still hope for me. Judy looks Wayne up and down.
Keep hoping.
Wow, so even with a little bit of Wayne in there, we don't get that many laughs. It's still more depressing news being passed on, and everyone's digesting that information about what's kicking off at Camp Holidays.
I think the fact that Wayne, that is the first scene Wayne's not been eating.
Yeah, but he's smoking instead. Suddenly he's a smoker. We've not seen any of that before. Man's got a fag on, doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't care. He's throwing it all over the floor. Judy is obviously holding true to her morals and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this is just the standard goss, really, isn't it? That starts to float around, and that can only grow arms and legs after that one.
Let's do one more scene then, Mike. Interior main venue, backstage. Adam is sat in the boys' dressing room staring into space. Robin comes in. His bruises from the fight are now faded. So I'm assuming now we've gone on some time from when this happened. It must be a few days later at least.
Yeah, if the bruises are faded for sure. But obviously Adam's also, into space observation.
Maybe their astronomy brings them together.
That's the word I was looking for.
You all right? You want to come out tonight?
No.
Robin sighs. Look, Adam, it's been a week. You should just talk to her.
I can't. What am I going to say? Sorry, I turned psycho on you. It'll never happen again.
A bit of advice. Sort it out. Because right now, you ain't a barrel of laughs to be around. Adam gets up and walks to the door. Adam stops. Sort it. Adam leaves as Pete comes in, wearing only a pair of trousers. Robin gets up. Phew! Keep walking around like that and I won't be responsible for my actions. Pete laughs as Robin leaves. Kelly enters.
Oh, God. I have to do
Kelly and
Scottish
Pete.
Welsh. Oh, no. Okay, we can do this. We can do this, Mike. Come on, we can do this. Hello. He?
Kelly eyes Pete up and down and smiles slyly. She walks right up to him.
So where you been hiding this all season?
She runs her fingers down his chest onto his glistening abs. No, wait, sorry, that was wrong. Wrong character.
No more glistening abs. You're pretty quiet, aren't you? They always say be careful of the silent ones. Do I need to worry about you? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to say it in my head. No, I'm trying to say it in my head, right? Because I know that if I attempt to do it, you put it out there and people listen to the bad accents. I think you're going to cut them out and then you don't. I have to listen to myself, have to do take after take.
The worst thing is, Mike, they're the good ones that stay in. The bad ones do get cut.
It's just Tom Jones. I don't think so. Come on. I bet you're a real animal when you get going. Yeah, I guess I am.
Kelly moves her face to within an inch of Pete's.
So, how about it then? Me and you, right now. No one has to know. I would, but you're not my type. Oh, I'm everyone's type. Not mine. How can you be so sure? Because I'm gay. What? I'm gay. I like men, not little girls. Besides, I'm with someone. Who?
Robin enters. Me. Kelly laughs, a little shocked. Pete moves to the door and kisses Robin. He then leaves. Robin walks to Kelly.
You kept that quiet.
Yeah, with certain people around here who like to spread the filth, you've got to be pretty discreet.
You could have told me. We're friends.
Friends? Friends? You don't know the meaning of the word. I know how you twist, manipulate and play people off each other. I've seen the hurt you've caused, and what's worse is the satisfaction you get from it. You're a bitch, a real nasty piece of work, and one day you'll get your comeuppance. It'll take a miracle for you to get a job next year, so do everyone a favour and leave us alone. Robin turns to leave.
Do you think I want to come back to this shithole, working with a bunch of stuck-up pompous fakes who don't know the meaning of the word fun or a good time?
Shut up, Kelly. Just shut up. Robin leaves. Wow.
Okay.
More darkness. Well, not darkness, but more seriousness, more drama. Whew, we've had a real dramatic... I thought last episode was dramatic, but the tension's gone up to like 11. There's so much...
This is our teenage soap opera episode, this one. This is the omnibus, isn't it, that appears on a Sunday when you're hungover. No, look, I mean, Peter's obviously come out, which is great, and he's with Robin. And I think that is... It feels right. It feels right that these chaps would have, gravitated towards each other. And we've spoke previously, about all the relationships that happen, and why not?
And that's the thing. We've wondered what's going on with Robin. I think Robin's kept things on the down low. He's probably the most sensible of all the guys. He's the one that's kind of been... When we look at his journey from the very beginning of the season where he was getting into all those calamitous situations, now he's almost turned into sort of like the older brother, the counsel. And, he's the first one to calmly stand up to Kelly and put her in her place. I think that says a lot, and I'm happy that he's found somebody in Pete that he can be happy with too. So let's hope it stays that way.
Absolutely, but let's just end this with a little discussion about Kelly. So Kelly's had quite a lot of runnings over the last few episodes. It seems like she has not got any friends left, and she's a large proportion of that is being blamed on her. Just or unjust?
I don't think it's a black and white there. I think she is one of those people who does get pleasure from winning, beating other people, from creating drama. But at the same time, she's also tarred with a brush and treated really quite appallingly by Adam in light of what happened and the fact that there were two consenting adults that entered into something. So it's a difficult one, but I mean, I don't like her as a person because I think she's a bit of a bitch, as Robin called her out on it. But yeah, that doesn't mean she deserved to be spoken to the way she was spoken to by Adam either.
Do you know what? Genuinely, for me, it would be interesting to have understood a little bit more around what's going on there.
And this comes to a really interesting point for me there, because if you think about, when we lived in that kind of an environment, some people went there to escape something, to move away from something, to create a new life and a new persona for themselves. So I kind of think that the fact we don't know what's motivated Kelly to be there, why she is the way she is kind of, it's true to form. There are people that are thrust together to live and work and spend every day an hour together who don't really know each other to the right extent. And you don't know their motivations and you don't know if you can trust them. And it's a wonder that any real true friendships ever come out of these things, because there's, such a breadth of people that do these jobs. So I don't think we need to know what happened to motivate her to where she is. I think the way she behaves now and the fact that other characters have moved on and developed as human beings, but Kelly seems very much exactly as she was in episode 3, she is in episode 12. Very callous, very cold, very calculating.
It's very clear that this isn't the funniest of episodes. There is not a lot of room for funny anecdotes and funny stories, but it feels right. It feels right that it enters that drama, because you're coming. This is the penultimate part of the story. This is the second to last. It feels like that's preordained, that it has to go that route. Otherwise, it just kind of fizzles into nothing. So I'm actually quite excited about what's going to happen next.
Do you know what I thought? As we get to the end, towards this point in time, I would know how things finished. I would remember. Quite honestly, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo on what's going to happen in the next few scenes that's going to tell us whether or not Camp Holidays will even exist. What's going to happen to all of the characters? How's that going to affect the relationships? Let's not forget that Donna and Dan are in a relationship now and have been for several months, but they live at opposite sides of the country. How is that going to work if this place isn't there for them to live together? And there's so much that we need that needs to be resolved. There isn't a lot of time left.
There's certainly not. But as they say, Steve, love finds a way.
I thought it was life finds a way.
All right, I'm using a bit of poetic license for crying out loud.
You can't misquote the Goldman. No, Goldman? Goldblum.
So by that very definition, you've misquoted his whole name.
I'd just like to point out, it is very late, and therefore I am allowed to do that. So, Mike, have you got any final thoughts for us today?
We'll let the story do the speaking and the audience do the thinking. And we look forward to seeing you again next week on our final episode of Last Resort. See you then.
Bad Scripts was written and performed by Mike Garlia and Steve Jones, a Beach Tide production.